From the EPAWA headquarters in South Allentown, Pennsylvania, it's time for Weather Weeklies, an informative video of the ins and outs of weather that affect you most in the EPAWA coverage area. The following segment is a weekly video blog, and the opinions of the forecaster do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff of Eastern PA Weather Authority LLC as a whole, nor its constituents. Without further ado, here is meteorologist Bobby Martrus with Weather Weeklies.
And good Sunday morning to you. This is the Weather Weeklies edition for May 10th. And first things first, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, including my own and the mother of my children. Obviously, today is not starting out. If you're looking outside, a lot of places are not starting out too great with the fog again that we're dealing with, but we'll expect that to burn off maybe a little bit quicker than it did yesterday. Hopefully we get a nice day here for all the mothers out there. I'm going to go in the long range now. And the long range is going to start off above average here. That's what we're expecting now through for the next couple of days here. The temperatures here normally for this time of year are in the 70 to 75 range. Generally across our coverage area here, and right now we're expecting temperatures to still be in the 80s through about Tuesday. Then once we get that cold front come through here on Tuesday, we're going to go back down to maybe slightly below normal temperatures on Wednesday for one day, and then about near normal back again on Thursday, and then we head above again after that. So we got this period here near average. The 3-day period between the 13th and 16th will be near average here. Again, high confidence for that too. But then we look at this period here. This is a very long, extended period between the 17th of this month all the way through the 7th of June. So it's a pretty hefty period there. You're talking almost a 3-week period, expecting to be in above average temperatures. And here's the problem here. This is the precipitation in the same period from, actually not the same period, this is actually from the beginning of the outlook through the end of the outlook. So that was, we did this the most recently on the 8th. Today, of course, is the 10th, so this was done on Friday. This extends the entire period through June 7th. Precipitation below average. Below average. We're not expecting a lot of precipitation during that period, unfortunately, because we definitely use it. I did a blog earlier this week here, a written blog that showed where we are in terms of the drought conditions. And it's mainly our northern areas, northern and central areas, down by Philadelphia, South Jersey, Delaware. You really don't have an issue right now. So if you live down in that area, you're okay. It's the areas a little bit further north that we're concerned about. Those are the areas in winter that did not get up by Scranton, did not get it up to the normal amounts of snowfall that they expect for in a typical winter, and that because of that kind of laid the foundation going forward as far as precipitation goes, and that definitely helps with the growing season. So that's an important thing. We do want to show you here graphically what we have from our spring outlook here. This is from May and June departures from normal. You'll see. This is the entire month as a whole. We had this month very, very warm, and obviously this is something we did back on March, I believe it was March 17th, is when we had the spring outlook out. So this was our projection from the outlook for May. This is going to be spot on. This is looking at temperatures well above normal, and we remember back to April, we were like, everybody's like, where's spring at? It's so cold. It was up and down cold, and we wanted just to have sustained warmth, and now it's here. We're getting the complaints that it's too warm, so we can't win. But we did tell you this was coming. This was done on March 17th, and +3 Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius to +4 Celsius means temperatures were expected 6-8 degrees above normal for the month, and we're well on our way to that. And there's no reason, looking at the next couple of weeks here through the end of May, that this is going to change. So we're going to be well above normal this month. This is going to be spot on. As far as June, you see we're above normal again, but the problem is we're actually lower, not the problem, but we're actually lowering these. Instead of +3 to +4 in May, +1 to +2. The reason is I think we're going to start off very, very warm for the first half of June. There's some questions with the second half of June. Might start getting into some cooler patterns as we get into the second half of June. I don't want to scare anybody yet. Say, no, good Lord, here we go again with a cold summer. I don't want to get anybody anxious with that, because it might just be a temporary thing. Still some uncertainties from like mid-June onward. So we'll just kind of leave that. It can kind of go either way. But we're going to expect that it's going to go into a cooler period, at least near normal, that's going to keep these the above normal from the temperatures in the beginning of the month in check from being another May. And then we get into the long-range GEFSs. These are the GFS ensembles. This is just what we look at as we go out in a really, really long range here. And they're pretty much agreeing that you have a little bit of a trough in the southwest here, so you got a little bit of cooler area here, cold air stuck up here in eastern Canada, but good for them, they can stay there. And then up here we have the jet stream pretty far to the north, so this is all promoting very warm ridging across the eastern United States, which gives us the exceptionally warm temperatures. Now again, normal for this time of year, generally in the lower 70s. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be consistently in the 80s. Now we're going out here pretty far. I'm going to go out even further. Okay. First of all, we're going to look at what the third week in May looks like on the models here. Now when you have this here, this is all below normal. These blues and greens, these are below normal temperatures. We just showed you in the previous graphic. This area up here was also cold. But this all area in between, which is including us where we live here, is all above normal. These oranges that are showing here, these are all above normal temperatures. Now this is in relation to normal, so whatever's considered to be normal on that date. So in the third week of May, now it might be 72, 73 degrees normal temperature high for right now. It won't be the third week of May. You're talking about mid to upper 70s at that point. So when we're showing above normal temperatures, it's in relation to the temperatures that are normal at that time, not now. Just so everybody understands that. And it's still showing above normal temperatures. And then we're going to go out even further into the first week of June. Nothing's changed. Now, when you look at the sea, like what this is set up here, where we have this really warm temperatures, the entire period from this point, third week in May, into the first week of June is the same thing. Now, we do lose some of the cold up here in eastern Canada, so maybe they get a little bit of a warm up there. Keep some cooler temperatures down here in the deep south, but look, it's same areas again, very, very warm, and it doesn't change. It's not even like we had in April. We had that up and down, and you know, we got a week of almost a week of cold, and then a week of warmer temperatures, and it went back to cold. We are going to be consistently like this through, I think, beyond this too. Now this runs out of range. This particular model runs out of range the first week of June, the end of the first week of June. So looking beyond this, there's really nothing showing that it would change either. So you'd have this exceptional warmth. The ridging would still continue here, and we'd have probably gonna have some 90-degree temperatures in early June already. Okay, we'd be getting it close to a couple times, but I think you're going to get some 90-degree temperatures here starting off early this summer here. So this warmth is going to continue. If you're not a fan of the warmth, it's not really the best of news. However, are some monkey wrenches. We're going to throw a possible monkey wrench here. This is a typhoon in the Pacific near the Philippines, and is really close to, I'm not really good at geography. I know this is the main island of the Philippines, and Manila is somewhere like right around here, I think. And here is a equivalent of a Category 5 hurricane. So it's a very, very strong and destructive typhoon that is going to eventually be moving off to the north here. Now, why am I showing you this? Who cares? Well, here's the track so far. If you remember last year, we had these long periods of cool temperatures. I mean, it was the middle of July, and you're expecting temperatures to be in the mid-80s or 90s, or and temperatures were in the 70s, barely making it to 70, and that's a large part because of these typhoons starting to recurve. Now we're getting an active period here again. We're getting these typhoons starting to show up here. A very strong hurricane, or typhoon, I should say, same thing. Okay. That's going to start recurving towards Japan. Now, I do think it's too early in the season for these to really start having an effect on our weather. They're not going to have an effect on our weather directly. What they do is that the idea is that they recurve up here by Japan and keep going up in this direction, okay? Which this one's not, because it's going to be dying to nothing here by the time it gets to the latitude of Tokyo and Okinawa, I should say. All right. Now, what this does, if this stays intact, strong long enough, it will actually create some ridging out here, or push the ridge up out here in the west, well, out into the eastern Pacific, and that will allow everything. What goes up must go down. Okay, you have a view just like those hills and valleys and troughs and ridges and stuff. If you have a big buckle in the jet stream like this, and it goes force way up, you're going to have a huge trough come way down. The trough, of course, promotes colder weather. And then it keeps going. It's a ripple effect. By the time it gets to our area, on our side of the globe, we are stuck in the trough and the colder. Now, the models won't pick up on this. So right now, the models are saying, oh no, it's going to be warm. Well, if this thing decides to, were to recurve and stay intact, which it won't So we're not worried about that right now. But this is just something we have to pay attention to once we get into the middle especially from the middle of the summer onward. Because these little storms that pop up here, these typhoons, can have an recurve as you get these sea surface temperatures warmer up in this area here as we get through the summer. These can survive a little bit longer. If they survive and are still strong once they get up here, you can have it affect the ridge, where it's pumping up the ridge and allowing the jet stream to buckle. I don't think that's happening this early. It's too early for that to happen. We're still talking about May, so I'm not worried about this right now. I don't think this changes the long-range pattern. So as far as a monkey wrench, I don't think so. That's my call right now. We'll continue to monitor it. Speaking of tropical systems, we have subtropical storm Anna that's now made landfall near the Carolinas here, eastern shore. This is now rapidly weakening. And what we're getting from this, a couple things. This is going to be a thorn in our side here, even though it's not affecting us directly. For something to not affect us directly has really been a big problem for us with two things. Southeasterly flow created from being around the system here has created an onshore flow and a marine layer. We've had this terrible fog this weekend. It's been sitting around, doesn't want to burn off, and has been really messing up our sensible forecast. So that's one thing. Second thing is we have a cold front coming through, and we're expecting some storms in the Monday-Tuesday time frame. But here's your cold front right here. I mean, you can clearly see cold front sitting here like this. Here's your storms ahead of it. What's going on with the storms? Where are they? We need the rain. Well, here's our exiting system. This is the remnants of Anna. And what this is doing is actually stealing convergence or stealing energy from this frontal boundary. So it's taking it out. See all this? You see all these reds here? It's actually stealing the energy from the frontal boundary. So by the time this comes through, you're left with an isolated chance of a shower or thunderstorm. If you get one and you get lucky, congratulations. We need it. But, we are looking for something. If this wasn't here, I think we'd have a more concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms along the front, especially since we're going to be going from, the middle 80s here on Tuesday to upper 60s in some places on Wednesday for highs. So Anna has definitely been a thorn in her side, and it continues to be. And this is really not talking about precipitation. This is a total precipitation expected through Friday. Might have something next Saturday or Friday into Saturday. I don't want to get excited about that yet. Looks like just a weak wave, nothing with a tremendous amount of precipitation. We'll keep our fingers crossed we get maybe some steady rain out of that, because right now, between now and Friday, there is hardly anything here. This is all just from isolated stuff that pops up, if it does. Don't take this verbatim. 1/10 of an inch, maybe 2/10 somewhere. This is not going to cut it. We need some more precipitation, and right now it doesn't look like it's going to happen, at least through Friday. Maybe some hope for Friday into Saturday, Friday night into Saturday, getting some rain out of this, but we'll see. We'll track that as we get there. Of course, we track this and everything else in the weather forum, the EPAWA weather forum. If you just go on and you can sign up for the My Pocket Meteorologist weather alerts, and then add on the weather forum. We constantly discuss different things in the weather, whether it be here in our coverage area or outside of it. Things that are interesting that can affect our coverage area. They're all discussed in the My Pocket Meteorologist Premium forum. It is an add-on for the text alerts. For more information, click on the image below this video. That's this edition of Weather Weeklies for Mother's Day, May 10th, 2015. Have a great Sunday.